Hi everybody, we are here with another fishing video. This time we're in Nightingale after the Realms Rebuilt update. I got into fishing a little bit the first time I played, but with this update I dove into it a little bit more, so I thought I'd show you guys just kind of some of the basics and how it works in this game. So it's a little easier in this game than others. Um, in order to unlock the fishing pole, you just go to Tools under your progression, and there'll be the simple fishing rod is the first thing that you make, and then every tier will have their own versions. And you don't necessarily need to max out your which one you get. Like, you don't need to make the mystic one, but you can if you want. So once you build your fishing rod, it's pretty easy. You don't need any bait. There's not a lot to it. You just go up to pretty much any body of water, hold down left click, and then release to cast your line. You'll get a bite pretty quick. You hold down, you hit left click, and then that gets the fish on the line. So now you have a tension bar, and then you'll notice that the fish has a hit point bar as well. Now the number to the left of the fish's name is the general difficulty of the fish. So 10, 20, 50, and 70 are what I've encountered so far. Now the +5 you'll notice is the fish regaining hit points. So the way this works is that it's kind of like combat. Your fishing rod is dealing damage to the fish when you're pulling it in. When you're not pulling it in, the fish is regaining hit points. Pulling in the rod, or pulling in the line, uses up your stamina. The way to lose the fish is if that tension bar goes too far to the right and snaps, or if you run out of stamina. Now, when you can choose to stop reeling it in, which will let you regain your stamina. However, the fish will regain hit points. So that's kind of the only real game to this, is keeping the fish on the line, making sure that the tension doesn't snap, and making sure you don't run out of stamina. So I'll just demonstrate here reeling it in. This is just a simple fishing rod. This is like the first level fishing rod you can make. So you can see it's dealing 25, 27, 28 damage. And the fish will swim around a lot more, and that increases the tension on the line, so you need to keep it low by following the fish. And once you get to the end of its hit point bar, you reel it in. And then you can see I have it right here, a tier 3 rainbow trout. So the different rods increase the amount of damage you deal while you're fishing, while you're reeling it in. You'll note I had a ridiculous amount of stamina, so I made food specifically to have stamina. Being well rested is also a good idea, so that way if you choose to regain your stamina, you regain it much quicker. I'll just show you guys kind of what happens if we lose it from tension. So this is a chaparral trout, so I'm going to pull the opposite direction. You can see the tension getting really extreme, and it snapped. So if that happens, you lose the fish. But there's no bait or anything, so you're not losing anything, right? You're just losing the fish and taking extra time to do it. Now let me show you guys when you deal damage to the fish, but then you can stop reeling it in. So I'm dealing damage to the fish. You can see its bar going down. But say, for example, I don't have 400 stamina. So I need to stop. So I'm going to stop, which gets my stamina back, but the fish is healing, right? I mean, if the fish heals up to max, nothing happens. I can keep a fish on a line like this for a long time. I've never seen it snap from just waiting too long, right? Tension and running out of stamina are the two reasons it snaps. You'll notice right there that it showed critical damage. So the fishing rod can deal critical damage as well, and it seems to have the same % chance as any normal attack that doesn't target a weak point. So let me just show you with my awesome fishing rod how much easier it is. So now I'm dealing 200 damage, and it took 2 seconds to get that guy in, right? So that's the difference between the fishing rods. And this is a level 86, tier 3++ Mystic fishing rod. When I've crafted these things, I've focused primarily on melee damage. because that's what you're dealing to the fish. You can also add, you can see I've got a maximum stamina on there as well. Stamina regen is also good. So when you're building your fishing rods, focus on stamina regen, maximum stamina, and melee damage would be my suggestion. There is one charm that you can add called the Charm of Endless Fishing, which doesn't drain your hunger. That does drain your food duration, right? So the duration of your food will drop down, but it's your hunger bar at the very bottom that doesn't drop down, which is kind of a little handy. And then there is also a card, the Angler card, which is a tier 1 card that when you put it in your realm, it improves your fishing skill and yield, hiding you from hostile sight while fishing. So in theory, you won't draw aggro while you're fishing, and you'll deal more damage while you're fishing, because obviously there's no skill, so it must mean damage. I haven't figured out exactly how much it adds or anything like that. So those are two things to help you kind of boost your fishing ability. Okay, so I'm back at base, and I just wanted to show you guys some of the different kinds of fish that you catch. There are 3 different kinds of fish per biome. So 3 different kinds of fish you can find in the forest, 3 different kinds you can find in the swamp, and 3 different kinds in the desert. Now, the prismatic pupfish and the heath pupfish are both found in the desert. You notice these are tier 3 and tier 2 fish. And they give different things, based on what the fish is. It'll change whatever food you make out of it. So, depending on what your build is or what you're going for, it can kind of show you guys what kind of the different options are. And then there's also this generic desert fish. So I'm guessing this is a placeholder for a third kind of fish, but each biome has a generic fish that's only tier 2. And they have different effects as well. You'll notice this one increases range damage, which is kind of nice. So there are different tiers based on the level of the zone you're in. These have all been tier 2, but this forest fish is tier 1. This swamp fish is tier 3, which now you'll notice increases melee damage. But for the most part, these named fish are kind of the same tier, no matter what. Like you notice, I just caught a trout here that was tier 3, and this is in a abeyance zone. This is in the crossroads, so rank 0, rank 10, something like that. So the tiers kind of can vary based on the zone you're in. The higher zones should give you a higher tier of the generic fish, but probably not the named fish. But again, I'm not 100% sure of all that I haven't experimented with that too much. I just catch a ton of fish. Now let's take a look at the different kinds of food you can make with the fish. So the main reason to fish is to get materials for food. There are some really good fish recipes, including the Captain's Plate, which you'll notice it's a tier 3. This is the base stats without adding any ingredients. So the Captain's Plate is pretty good. The Catch of the Day, even better. 300 health regen is huge. And we got the Fish Cutlet, which is kind of the basic thing that you're going to get at tier 2. Which again, 200 health regen and 70 health for just fish and spice. That's a real good, solid, easy food to make, right? You just spend a couple minutes catching a bunch of fish and then make a ton of this up. Fish fingers, also good, not quite as good, and require dough. So, they're not quite as good, but still not bad. Grilled fish is the tier 1 recipe you're going to get, which again, for a tier 1 recipe, that's pretty good. Like, health regen, real good. Anything increasing maximum health is always good. And sashimi, which is not... 500 health regen and 50 health is real good. It is only fish and oil, so that is great. The duration is real low, though, so that's not great. But, again, 2 ingredients, not bad. And then surf and turf, which doesn't have any base attributes, but because it has so many ingredients, that can increase... let's just kind of throw some stuff in here to see what we got. Let's autofill it. So 306 health, 15 stamina, like, and this is just for pretty generic stuff, right? Um, that's real good. Like, those are real good stats. So again, and like you notice, one of each of these makes 6. So real easy to stock up on that, and like I showed you guys how easy it is to catch the fish. So yeah, so that's the main reason why I fish, is for the really awesome food. When you fish, you want to use food, obviously, that increases your stamina and stamina regen. But otherwise, there's not a lot to it. Different augmentations for your cooking station will provide different bonuses to uh, excellent fishing augment. Refinement time is decreased by 20 seconds, and you'll create more. This also increases the max stamina of fishing rod items, and dish items are 1.6 yield. So these augments can help when you're making your food, and definitely when you're making your fishing rod as well. But yeah, so fishing is real easy in this. It's real basic and gives you some good stuff. So I really enjoy it, and again, like having really good food. Keeps me alive a little longer than normal. So hopefully that helped you guys, and yeah, we'll talk to you in the next one.